What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gunfish TV. I want to thank you for tuning in to my channel today. I appreciate it very, very much. Out here this afternoon on an absolutely hot, muggy day. It is about 88, 89 degrees right now. I think the humidity has to be around 100. I'm just sweating just sitting here. But I wanted to go over a technique with you all that you see me do a lot. Of course, you see me frog a lot, but probably my second most go-to technique in bass fishing is pitching a soft plastic lure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of gonna go over my equipment, and I'm also gonna go over the technique of pitching. If you're new to it and you've seen people do it, but you're not really sure how to go about doing it, I'm gonna strap the camera to my chest and I'm gonna kind of talk you through and show you kind of where your lure placement needs to be on your reel and all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off just going over my equipment. This is a Revo X, Abu Garcia Revo X. This is a 7.3-to-1, has 31 inches per handle crank. Just so you know, you can use any reel, really any reel you want. I prefer a higher gear ratio, so when you pitch it out there, if you don't get a bite, you can go ahead and reel it, get it back up to you so you can make another pitch. Because the more times you pitch out there, the more times your bait is in the water, of course, the more likely you are to catch a fish. So I have that paired up with a 7-foot medium heavy Duckett Ghost. Not a very expensive rod. I think it's $100, but this rod has the exact action that I like. When I'm pitching, it kind of loads up good. It's not very stiff. And when you're pitching, that's actually very important. A lot of people don't think about the rod, but you want to have a rod that has some tip to it. So when you kind of go back to pitch it, your rod tip loads up and it kind of pendulums your bait back out away from you. So I have that paired up with 23-pound Balzac's Iguana line. And then I have a one objective bobber stopper, a 3/8 ounce one objective tungsten Strike King Rage Bug, and then a 3/0. This is a Guggen Squad hammer hook, is what I have this Rage Bug paired up with. So when it comes to weight, weight's kind of important. And with that being said, the reason why is because you can't really pitch a really light bait, because when you try to do it, it's going to go kind of flying upward and it's going to land down very hard. You know, a 1/4 ounce is about as low as you can go if you're going to pitch. It's absolutely as low as I go if I'm going to pitch anything. But usually I use 3/8 or 1/2 ounce. 90% of the time I am pitching a 3/8 ounce weight. Now, talking about pitching, most people call it flipping. I call it flipping, but I'm going to use the correct terminology in my video because it actually is pitching. But it's a very easy technique to do, but it's something that you need to practice with. And the way I learned to do it was I actually went in my backyard when I was maybe 10 years old, somewhere in there, put a bucket or a solo cup or something out there, and I stood on the side of the picnic table and I just repeatedly tried it and tried it and tried it and tried it and tried it. I didn't have that great of equipment back then, or as good as as stuff is now, but I got the hang of it, and it became at that time one of my absolutely most favorite and most effective techniques back at that time. So it's something that you definitely need to know how to do. If you don't know how to pitch a soft plastic, you're definitely at a disadvantage when it comes to fishing heavy cover or grass, thicker grass situations, hydrilla, stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and strap the chesty on. I'm gonna go over how to go about pitching a lure, where your bait needs to be situated on your rod so you can pitch it better, and also the process of thumbing your spool and stopping it so you don't make a big splash when your bait hits the water, because you don't want to spook that big old bass sitting in that lap pile that you're flipping up there too. All right, so it has started to rain from the time I just finished that until putting on my chesty mount. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over just the process of pitching a bait, how your reel kind of needs to be set, how fast your bait needs to fall, and just the process of pitching itself. So you want to have your reel fairly loose. So you can see my bait down there at the end of my rod tip. I'm gonna push my button and you can see how fast it falls. Very fast. Okay, so very fast fall. So you want to have your reel pretty doggone loose. So you can see my spool. Look at my spool spinning very fast. Okay, so reel fairly loose, not as loose as it'll go, but you need to have that bait falling pretty good. Of course, you adjust it according to what size weight and lure you have on. So you got your reel adjusted right. You need to have your bait. Okay, so I'm holding my reel right here and my bait. If I have my bait right here at my reel, and a lot of times you see, can y'all see how I'm holding my finger above my bait? A lot of times I do that because I don't like to touch my bait the whole time, or I'll use 2 fingers like this. But that allows you to pitch it right out there and work it. Okay, so we're gonna reel it in. And once you do this enough, when you reel it back into you like I just did, you will literally know when you can bring it back up. So like, say for instance, like I just did that, immediately I can come up and pitch right back out there right then. So I can reel it up. Oh God, oh God. Did y'all see that? That was a big old bass right there. Oh my goodness. That fish might bite again. Oh my God, I cannot believe that just happened. That was absolutely crazy. He came out and destroyed it. He pulled one of my tails off. I was not expecting that. All right, let's get another rage bug on real quick, and we'll keep on with this. All right, we're back. So got a fresh rage bug on there, but so we're pitching up there. That'd be nice if that bass come back. I mean, that was a 3-pounder. I saw the whole fish. That was crazy. I saw him coming out following it when I was reeling it. But so I reel it in, and automatically I've done it enough, and as you practice it, you will as well, where you get it in and boom, right back out. That's where your efficiency and your effectiveness comes from, is being able to work it that way. So it needs to be either directly at your reel, which I prefer actually for your weight to be a little bit above it. So right in here, right in there is where it needs to be. That allows easy pitching, and it works out good. So what you don't want to, this is what you don't want to do. All right, so say I got it down here, way below my reel, way down here at the bottom of my rod. So that has made everything too long. I can't get that pendulum effect that you need to be able to effectively flip that bait. Of course, if you have a line too short, then you're having to go out as well. You need to have that bait right above the top of your reel. And this is a practiced method. This is a practiced method of fishing. This is something you do in your backyard. You go fishing. You say, this is what I'm going to do all day long. This is what I'm going to do all day. I'm going to practice pitching because it's an extremely effective technique, and I need to learn how to do it to be a better angler. Okay, so the next step to pitching is, once you get, you know, where your reel needs to be set, where your lure needs to be to pitch it. And you can also pitch other types of baits as well. It doesn't just have to be a soft plastic. You can pitch crankbaits, which you have to be very careful with your hands with that, but other lures as well. But, you know, primarily this is a, you know, soft plastic type deal. But it comes to the landing of the lure. So when you pitch it out there, right before it touches the water, and I didn't do a very good job of that because I was paying attention to it, but right before it touches the water, you want to take your thumb and push down on your spool of your reel. Now, it's going to be hard for me to do this and keep my reel low enough where you can see it, but right there. And what that does is your bait lands in the water very easy, nice and slow, and it doesn't make a great big splash. So we're going to try to do that again. So right there. Now, I don't know if y'all can see that very, very small ripple that it just made when it hit the water. Extremely small compared to if I didn't touch spool. So I'm going to do one where I don't touch the spool right there. See that great big splash? Huge difference. Absolutely huge difference when it comes to the way it lands. So we're going to pitch right here. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to push down on it as soon as it gets right there. So that way we have a nice entry. It's not going to spook that fish that's right there. Great big old bass. He'll be down there ready to eat it, like that one was that we almost caught. We did not catch, but almost, you know, right there out of those pads. So this was just something that I wanted to go over with y'all. You know, like I said, it's something that you practice at. The more and more you do it, the more efficient you'll become, the more effective you'll become, and you'll catch a lot more fish doing it. You know, practice with your reel adjustments. Your lure, like I said, your weight needs to be at least a 1/4 ounce to be able to really do it well. You can do lighter, but then you run into, you know, you run into your reel backlash and you're not able to really pitch it out there very effectively. So 3/8 half ounce weight or larger is typically what you want to go with, and you know, a soft plastic, and you pitch it out there, work that thing in, and you use this technique, and I promise you, when you learn it, you'll end up putting some more fish in the boat. Let's see if we can catch a fish on this bad boy before we get out of here. This afternoon was all about making y'all a few how-to videos. Not so much about catching fish, although that is what I want to do, and catch a few for y'all. But as you can see, just as I'm bringing it in, it's a very fast and effective and efficient way of fishing. You know, very fast. I can bring it in right there to the hand. Boom, I'm right back out. Soft landing, I'm pitching up there, you know, bringing it back in. I want to pitch up here to, you know, say this inside of that tree right there, pitch right up to it. You know, that's a perfect place for a fish to be. And I can't believe one wasn't there, but you know, it's just an effective, and it's a very fast, I'm a very fast fisherman, fast paced. There's one right there. Oh, warmouth. Oh, warmouth. Mud gapper. He has got some teeth on him. There's some pretty fish though. There he is right there. Pitching that bait up there. We're gonna see if we can get one of these big bass right here that we had bite earlier on the frog. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to get one. And then it is starting to rain, so we're gonna get right and get the heck out of here, but we might get us a big old bass right here before we leave. There he is right there. Oh, knocked the crap out of my GoPro, but he's completely stole my raised bug. All right, let's see if we can pitch back up there and get one of them bad boys. That was a really good bite. There's a bite. Got that one. A little small bass. Well, we pitched up there and got him. He ain't no great biggin. I mean, not even close to a biggin, but it is a bass. We stuck him. Pretty little fat guy. Like I said, pitching, if you do it, I promise you'll catch fish bigger than this. It's a good way to catch some great biggins. Some of the biggest fish of the year I catch flipping, or pitching I should say, and frogging. So much larger than these, but beautiful fish. Thanks for biting, bud. All right, well, as y'all can see, pitching is an extremely effective technique, and if you don't know how to do it, you definitely need to pick a rod and reel up that's suited for it. Like I said, a minimum of a 7-foot rod is what you need, medium heavy, something with a little tip, and you know, a bait caster reel and some kind of heavy line. Get out there on the water and practice, get in your backyard and practice. Do whatever you need to do to learn this technique, because you are at a disadvantage if you do not know how to pitch a soft plastic up to shallow cover, up in wood, up in weeds, whatever you're fishing. That's where the big boys lay. So give this technique a try. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on Gunfish TV.